What's up, guys? Scott back with something new I've decided I'd probably start. Like the title says, this is a review and or a warning to a film called Cannibal Holocaust. Now, odds are a lot of you out there probably don't know this movie, and there's a few reasons for that. It could be that, you're too young to know about it, in which case you probably shouldn't be hearing a review about it, but anyway, you just never heard of these little real grindhouse films that made so much controversy. Anyway, whatever reason that you've stumbled across this video, I'll let you know there's a lot of spoilers in it, so if you are planning on catching out the movie, you might want to, give me 5 stars and click off. Anyway, what it is basically it's a film that was made, I believe, in 1980, although all official records state it coming out in 1985, but I believe that's because it was banned in a lot of countries. It's about a group of, I don't want to say kids, young adults from New York that travel to South America to locate these tribes of cannibals. I know, big shock twist. Anyway, turns out when they get there, they all die. Eaten. Yeah. So an anthropologist from NYU called Professor Harold Moore, I think, if I got that right, has to actually travel there, and he's gonna go look for these kids and bring them back and all that. Like I said, kids are eaten. He figures that out pretty soon, and now he's on a quest to bring back the film that they shot for their documentary. All the shots that are done from the kids that actually go, or young adults, are filmed on just like a 16 millimeter. It looks like an Arflex camera. I mean, the same ones from World War II they've made for almost 90 years. Nothing special, but still the quality on the film is pretty good. It's shot incredibly well for what it is, slowly giving you new story aspects to it, kind of showing you little plans that'll pay off later in the movie. Actually, let me tell you, this film was actually told to me by someone I was taking a film class with up in New York. He told me it's a real grindhouse film, had a lot of controversy of it in the 80s, and it's worth checking out if you're going for it, or if you're just a horror buff. It borderline snuff film, strictly because some of the scenes are so intense, they look real, and a lot of people to this day still believe that there were real people killed in that film. There are real animal sacrifices that are done throughout the film. Three main ones that people talk about are, there's like this little rodent thing that's killed. It's the first one. They take a knife and they actually gut it, and you can hear it squealing. It's not really a fun scene to watch, but it kind of adds to it still. Anyway, they do that one. The second one is actually one that I kind of laughed in about the darkest way I ever could. They end up killing a monkey, even though monkeys are awesome. They chop half of its head off. One of the tribe's people actually goes and like eats the brain, and the rest of them just kind of squeeze out the juices from it. Really disturbing. Only reason I found it a little funny is because I found out the first time that they shot the film, that scene, there wasn't any film in the camera, so they're like, oh, find another monkey, so they had to go find another monkey, and they shot it twice, and they did it. So it's pretty dark in tone, but also at the same time a little bit funny. Before I get to the third one, I'll let you know I did make a mistake when I first watched this film, which was only about an hour ago now. I ate Triscuits and Easy Cheese. Not a good mix with Cannibal Holocaust. If you've never seen it, remember that. Well, I suppose Triscuits are okay, but no Easy Cheese. It just makes you feel wrong. Anyway, like I said, the third one that they do, which is towards the end of the film, is they actually take one of the huge turtles from South America out of one of the rivers. They end up just like chopping its head off at one point, making you assume that the thing has just been killed. It's over. The worst part, it doesn't make a sound. Turns out throughout the next 5-10 minute sequence, the legs are flapping, the arms are moving and all, or not really arms, whatever you call them, the flipper things are going around. The actress in the scene is obviously very uncomfortable, and you can see her, she's kind of moved to the side, even though it looks like the actors are filming the entire sequence like it would be if it was a real documentary. They end up ripping the shell off, and you see the guts inside. They're just pulling the guts out for no apparent reason. The legs are still flapping on it. Um, I think at that point it was probably just tendons moving on a creature like a worm, but whatever the reason was, it was still a little bit disturbing to watch. What else is there about it? The film at one point was so controversial that the director actually had to go to court to prove that, that it wasn't an actual snuff film. He had to bring some of the actresses that they used as the tribes people into it to prove that they're not dead. Although from a lot of things I've heard online, people say the people that came in looked similar, but they didn't look the same. Some had bleached their hair, as they say, at some points. Other things like that. People say none of them looked the same. So that pretty much just brought up the rumor again that it was different actresses, that they were actually killing people and put it in the film. Still, past all this, the only scene that can really get you, a scene that they could not recreate after several attempts in several different courtrooms, is one where a lady is actually impaled, a woman, I don't know the age, 20 something, impaled on a spear all the way through, from the bottom of her through her mouth, straight up. Very disturbing to watch, but they could never recreate it in a courtroom or give away their secrets to how it was done, so take that as you will. Overall, even though it's so dark in tone, if you're interested in getting really big into cinematography or directing, writing, it's a great way to see how you can combine all these elements into a very gory film, but still have it work. Personally, I enjoyed it on a very dark tone. I have a copy of it now, so I'm probably not gonna be watching it right away as if I had to return it, but I'll definitely watch it again, see if I can pick up on any little cues. Though I will tell you something that's kind of funny. At the beginning of it, one of the South American rebels or soldiers, whoever he was, is killed by one of the tribespeople with a dart in the arm. I mean, gets him in the arm, he ends up dying. Boo-hoo. Later, when the professor actually goes to South America, you can see him standing right behind the lieutenant in several of the scenes as they're going through. So it's pretty funny. It shows that they really didn't have that many extras in the film. Other than that, that's probably one of the funniest things. Rated NC-17 for all the reasons you'd expect an NC-17 film. Graphic language, very heavy on the violence, just all of that. Like I said, if you're big into horror films, definitely worth checking out, but, make sure you don't eat right before you watch it, because it'll mess with you a little bit. Other than that, the only thing that can really mess with you is the theme song. The theme song is so, I want to say beautiful, because it just sounds classical, which was, I believe, composed by the director, if I caught that correctly, since all the titles on it are done in another language, so I wasn't really sure. The entire dialogue in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the film is not done in English, and I almost thought that it was going to be a subtitle film, but maybe no subtitles, so that would have been bad, at least in the version I had. But it cleans up to going into English, and then every character uses it from there on out, except for the tribes people, so whatever. Yeah, check it out if you think you can handle it. There's clips of it online. You can check the trailer on YouTube, so find out if it's something you want to watch. If you've seen it, drop me a comment. Let me know what you thought of it. Overall, I think it was pretty good. Good teaching tool. Just, I don't know, man. Let me know. Peace out. Later, guys.